After 12 days, Nintendo is already banning Nintendo Switch 2 users from Nintendo Switch online services. If you have a Switch 2, you may have gone banned if you've done this one specific thing. Did you also know that there's 3,000 consoles that have been stolen from a Switch 2 truck that was delivering consoles? And there is a big thing going around HDR settings. So if you're someone who's trying to have the best looking games, well, they might actually be looking worse on the Switch 2 because of HDR settings. There's a lot of things that we need to get into in this video, so by all means, let's get into it. Hope you're all doing good, having a wonderful day. It's your boy Poseidon. And there's a big truck right here that we're delivering Switch 2 consoles. This truck right here, this just happened recently. They just stole the consoles. It's actually crazy. And it was a semi truck. They stole 3,000 consoles. Each one was $500 each. So that's crazy. I think it was like 1.4 million. I'm thinking. I think that's what they said they lost. So really crazy how much money they lost right there. It was 2,800 consoles. What you said? Yeah, so almost 3,000 consoles, and it came to about $1.4 million stolen. That is just crazy. Hopefully, people get their Switch 2s, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. That is just crazy. Seriously. Um, and just as we spoke about the Switch 2 ban, various user reports suggest that Nintendo is actively issuing bans to Switch 2 consoles that have been used with the MIG Switch. The MIG Flash cart, um, many people have been affected and they can't use the Nintendo online services. Now, this isn't technically bricking, but it's sort of like it, right? This is insane. Right, so this means you can't really talk to people, chat with people, use any sort of game chat probably, any online services. This is insane. Now, I don't know exactly what a MIG thing is, so if someone wants to fill me in the comment section, go ahead. But if you are someone with the Switch 2 who has been struggling um, and having a battery issues and stuff, the battery depleting, we do have a video, so by all means check that out so we could potentially fix that issue. It's crazy how many issues people are having with their Switch 2s, and you know, on top of that, games looking worse. That's something that we're going to be getting into in just a minute. Um, it's insane, right? So it seems like people that are mitigating and bypassing security checks and whatnot, these are the people that are getting in trouble. So apparently, the MIG Switch is a specialized reprogrammable cartridge that's designed to mimic a real Nintendo Switch cartridge, but allows you to store your own game ROMs or backups on its micro SD. Well, this doesn't really seem like a horrible thing, but the fact that they're getting banned from online services is crazy, right? Um, but it is what it is, right? If people try to do various things, Nintendo will do that. At least they didn't completely brick the console and then you have to like send it somewhere. At least we're not there. But it's crazy. It is crazy like what is going on right now. So it's actually crazy. Like they're gonna give you a report. Apparently, is what they're gonna give you. Um, so this is what will happen to it. Let's see if we can show you. Let's put this one on right now, and let's do it like this. I know this is pretty weird, but you're gonna get an error code and things like that. So that's what they're gonna be doing to your console. That's just insane, bro. So like they could break it technically. So who knows? I don't know. This is insane. So again, 3,000 Switches nearly stolen. People already getting their consoles bricked or banned from online services. How long? We don't even know. That's crazy. Now we have a big issue with HDR settings. People have been talking about their Switch 2. The Switch 2 settings, right? So the HDR settings, I know it's also on PlayStation. On PS4, they look pretty weird. if you had your HDR too bright, or if it had it too dark, you would barely be able to see things. It looks like people are having a big issue with the Switch 2's HDR, and that is why a lot of games are looking terrible. And Switch 1 games, certain ones, older ones, have been reported to look even worse. So it's pretty crazy if you ask me. Hopefully there is a setting. Hopefully they fix the settings or make an update so that you can just optimize on HDR settings. They're already calibrated, whatever it might be, etc. For example, maybe there's a setting or maybe a mode. So when you are doing, you're trying to optimize HDR, maybe they already have it optimized. So you just put it on and it'll just go with whatever works best for your TV. Personally, that's the way it should be. But again, if you want to change it yourself, that's great. But the fact is, a lot of people don't want to get into this kind of stuff, and it's kind of annoying, right? I mean, you don't want to play with so many settings and things like that. Everybody just wants to have fun, and nobody wants to have this sort of headache where, you really have to really work with it. And the reason why this is an issue is because the first thing is the Switch 2 will ask you to do a brightness, adjust the brightness, until the portion of the sun image is no longer visible. This is very common for many PlayStation consoles as well. The problem is that the test only applies to TVs with the option to turn HGIG on, which your set may not support. Without it, you might end up turning the brightness a little too much and have an issue and a headache. Again, due to this sort of reason right now, that's going to be a headache. Really annoying. But that's going to ruin games, and I guess games that have very bright moments and very dark moments, it will be hard depending on that, and you'll probably have to constantly adjust your settings. At the end of the day, that's the software. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank everyone for watching, and by all means, hopefully you're learning something. You learned something. You have a Nintendo Switch indicator issue with your battery issues with your Switch 2, check out my most recent vid. You have brightness issues. You might have to see what kind of TV you have, if it supports HGIG. See what it does. Don't do it too bright then if you're having that issue. That's the best tip I could share for someone who uses HDR on consoles. Besides that, of course, stay safe, stay protected, and by all means, take care of yourselves. Make sure you guys watch my other videos. Thank you all so much. Like, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts are.